When raindrops fell down from the sky, the day you left me, an angel cried. She cried. She cried.
And welcome back to another episode of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, DJ, and while Paul may be tone deaf, I am most certainly really deaf after listening to that, along with my co-host,
Paul, and make on my ego, as usual.
So, Paul, you have come here on this day dressed like a sister of the Perpetual Extravagance, which is the convent for gay men that I have created.
Well, I was going more for a cloaked figure, if you will. Dungeon Master. Dark Keeper of the other side. The Keeper of the Dark Games, if you will.
Well, you need to do something about your rosacea for that.
Okay, bitch. You're one to talk about rosacea.
I covered it up for this.
Girl. Bitch, you look pinker than a ham.
Oh, she wanted to come from that way.
Yeah, at least I didn't say you look like a ham. Now, you
At
look
least
like...
I don't smell like an Arby's big beef and cheddar. Okay.
Well,
Let's just start over.
what I wanted to talk about before we get into today's topic, I wanted to talk about barbershops real quick.
Barbershops.
Yeah, because going to a barbershop as a gay man is a very interesting thing. And, like, especially, like, the code switching of it all. Because there is something about a barbershop that I walk in and immediately, like, we're mask. We're mask for mask, bro. You see the UFC game, which I'm speaking of, you can't see it right now, but I did get a haircut, which you saw in last episode. And they were playing a UFC game, and I was discussing the straight topics with the men.
And this is why I go to a hairdresser.
Well, I see that about you. I mean, you come on the episodes looking like a lesbian every time with that haircut, so I do see the hairdresser.
It's grown out of lesbian realms.
Comment down below. Do you agree?
I would be a terrible lesbian because I don't like women.
Yeah, and you really...
In that way. I love women. I could never be with a woman.
Yeah, and also in the way that you don't look like you could play softball. You don't look like you've ever stepped foot in a Home Depot. You don't
If I
look
were a
like...
lesbian, I would be a lipstick lesbian. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Now, you can beat the U-Haul rumors, because I have seen DJ in a U-Haul when we got my couch from my ex and moved it in the U-Haul, which thank you for that.
Yes,
Very gracious
yes.
of you, giving back to your community.
And while I may have beat those U-Haul rumors, Paul still has not beaten the bottom rumors, because this boy is a blouse. He is a soft top. He is a very feminine top.
If you couldn't tell. Yeah, but back to the barbershops. Barbershops are just like an not uncomfortable, it's just like the code switching of it all, which is annoying. And it's like, you never know what environment you're walking into in a barbershop, if they're down with the girls and whatnot, or if you're walking into like, spooky territory, if you will. And like, I don't know, that's something like straight guys, they never have to second guess. They can walk in anywhere, but like, we have to code switch.
Yeah, and that's the thing about straight men, is they think they own the world.
Well, like, yeah, straight things in general. Yeah, no. That's the main gist of my barbershop story.
Last
is
night,
just like how comfortable, uncomfortable.
Last night, my grandparents wanted to watch something, and I told them they turned on Netflix, and that movie Big Brother came on, Little Brother, with John Cena and Eric.
Are you talking about Big Brother, the TV show?
No. It's a new movie. It just came out, and I totally forgot who's in it.
Well, John Cena. Important
John
enough.
Cena, yes.
Whatever.
And I said, you might like this. And then I'm like in the kitchen trying to do my notes. And because I'm always doing notes. And I hear like something something. Yeah, if you eat them out, it's like hitting factory reset. And then all of a sudden, I hear like John Cena and his wife in the movie fighting. And she's like, we're going to get this settled right now. And I hear like they're in a car, and I like hear like moving around a car, like you're trying to like maneuver around. And I'm like, oh my God, is this straight couple going to have like car sex? And I walk out into the living room, and my 80-plus-year-old grandparents are watching John Cena hanging out of the window of a Porsche as his wife.
Well,
And I went, wow, good for the straights for embracing. But on the other hand, I just walked in on John Cena getting his whole. And you know what? It might be the factory reset button, because John Cena was a whole lot happier in the next scene.
girl, you know they were acting, right? You know it was a movie, yeah?
Yeah, but like.
He was acting, girl.
But also.
I'm not sure if he would act like that in real life.
I too am much happier after.
Anyway, Kung Fu
Anyways.
Girl. Kung Fu Girl. She is a 2024 Riesling from
Yes.
Washington State.
See, I saw that and I thought you were going to make me drink sake again, and I got scared.
Sake.
Sake.
No, it's a Riesling.
Riesling.
We are traveling back to Japan for a little bit for this week's episode again. Now, land to hand, vineyard to bottle, Riesling in Columbia Valley. So, we're going to give the Riesling a try. I do like Rieslings a lot. She's chilled to perfection, as I do, because I'm a legend, icon, sommelier, a wine aficionado. I'm just the best person you ever meet in your life. And that's just what I do. So let me get this open for you guys. It's a little hard with the tablet and my garb.
Why do you think I like keep it somewhere else?
Well, some of us are showmen. You know, some of us care about our audience.
Pour my
you know?
fucking wine. You narcissist. That's a pour. I didn't even have to ask for that pour. See, this is what's wrong with restaurants. When they ask you, do you want 6 or 9 ounces of wine? That shouldn't be a question. It should be
Girl.
assumed.
That do piss me off, though. I hate when a restaurant gives you a little pour of wine. Bitch, what do you think I'm gonna... Girl, what do you think? I'm gonna finish that in 2 seconds. Give me a real
I'm more
pour.
talking about Olive
I hate
Garden.
that bullshit.
When they say, do you want the big glass or the little glass? Like, this is an Olive Garden. What do you think?
Well, no, why? Like, they do it in general. They give you this little bullshit.
Well, I mean, when you go to a fancy restaurant, you should expect that. They're going to give you
And
a
I
weak
hate
ass
that
pour.
bullshit. And you wonder why I hate fancy places. Okay, I could go to a Motel 6 and they're gonna give me the good pour, okay?
Motel 6 has wine?
The ones I go to. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, that was fun.
I needed that.
Oh, that's so good.
That has healed my soul.
That's good.
That's healed my soul.
Oh no.
Oh no.
My identity. I've ruined the illusion.
Your hijab.
Not the hijab. I'm not appropriating Muslim
We're
culture.
going to cut that.
I am not appropriating culture. I am a dark game lord.
Clefairy, dark wizard of mysticism.
If you get Clefairy, that is a very niche reference from our TikTok live days before.
Was
all
he the dark
banning.
wizard of mysticism? I forget his thing.
I forget. I think he was the dark wizard, but yeah, that's a really deep cut. Maybe we'll bring Clefairy back for one something. Who knows? Probably not.
I dare you to do it for a live show.
That would be a whole lot, because it hurts my voice a little
Oh,
bit.
does it?
Doing
Okay,
his
because I
voice.
nearly had this idea of what if you did Clefairy and I did Cheryl for an entire...
Maybe I can just adjust his voice a little bit so I can do
Yeah.
it for a whole hour. But anyway, 4.5 grapes.
5 grapes.
It's a very good wine. I would definitely recommend Kung Fu Girl. I'm not sure why they called it that, because it says Washington State.
Yeah.
And that's in America, so I'm not sure exactly why that's a thing.
It's giving very Kill Bill on the front.
It is giving Kill Bill. I agree. But it's a very good wine. They did an amazing job. Definitely get yourself a bottle of this wine. It's really good, especially in the summertime when it's hot and stuff. It's amazing wine.
Now, as a film major, what is your opinion on Kill Bill?
Never seen it.
I love that. Okay.
And my major was not film, it was video production behind the camera.
Sorry.
The technology of it all. And that's why you guys get these beautiful videos every week.
Okay, I think I get confused because at my university, you could be a film major and it was like video production was like rolled into that. It was the study of film and it was video production.
I mean, I definitely studied film a little bit, but like not like in-depth artsy shit. It was like how to structure a scene and blah 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 on camera, all that stuff, but that's neither here nor there. Do you have any comments, concerns, any ripple effects you'd like to bring up before we get into date?
I was just thinking about all my film student friends and how many student movies I was in.
Oh yeah, I was on one or two of those. Ooh.
My favorite was I was a twink femme fatale in a film noir.
Wow. Man, really breaking boundaries, really
So
stepping out of the box
I
there.
had this coat. I loved it. It was my favorite coat ever. It was white, but on the inside it had like fake fur. And so I was like really proud of like having this coat, and I turned it inside out so it looked like a fur coat to really bring that 1940s aspect into things.
So-
I also got to be in a car chase scene.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. No, that's really cool, actually. Well, any more stories from like 30 years ago?
No.
All right, let's get into it. Let me adjust my hood. Make it a little more spooky.
Hang on, let me. Ooh. Oh, yeah, just for the intro. This is really good.
The human spirit is like a flame. Strong, powerful, bright, but fragile. It takes just one gust of wind or splash of water to extinguish it, letting the darkness take over. We are always one move away from all-encompassing darkness. This metaphor can be seen in real life with dangerous candle rituals that some even call games. But heed my warning, little lights. You're always one move away from having your candle blown out, just like the people who play the candle games in today's topic. Cursed candle rituals. Dun dun dun!
And though I would not love to know ya, I was just a kid. Your candles burned out long before your legend never did.
Now that's enough music from when you were in high school.
You know, all of these age jokes really don't land well, considering I'm nearly 6 months younger than you.
Yeah, but the audience doesn't know that.
I just told them. Also, fragile,
Yeah,
not fragile.
fragile. Now, what problem did you have with the way I say fragile?
Because I wish if you wouldn't pronounce it fragile, you would just pronounce it as fragile.
Fragile. Like the Christmas story?
Yes, there's only two correct pronunciations.
Yes.
Fragile and fragile.
Fragile. Yeah, no.
And it was just like, oh, I can like poke fun at him because he said fragile.
No, you can poke fun at me about anything.
Yeah.
I'm just a little drunk.
Oh. You had one glass of wine.
I haven't been drinking as much recently because we're growing as people and I'm doing a push-up
You didn't eat
challenge.
today either, have you?
No, because I was going to the barber, and that's another thing about the barber. I have so much anxiety about the barber, right? My anxiety from the barber stems that, like, what if I have to piss or something, like, while, like, they're cutting my hair and I have to, like, get up? And, like, that's, like, a taboo thing, and, like, that's one of my
Is it?
many anxieties. And my barber, he takes forever. I was in that chair for an hour and a half just to get this.
That's crazy because I go to a hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got, so I'm growing my hair out. So every other, I go every month. 1 month is like a full haircut where she like cuts everything. She like shampoos it and everything. And she schedules it as a 30-minute session. The other one, because it's just trim to keep it clean while it's growing out, she categorizes it as a 10 to 15 minute bang trim. I'm out of there within 20 minutes both times.
See, that's what I'm used to, but this guy, he just takes forever.
Is he old?
No, he's like...
Oh.
I
Is he a
don't wanna-
hipster?
He's a pretty okay person, so I don't want to dox him or anything. I think he's just someone who partakes in grass, if you will. I don't know. But I think it's either that or he's like a perfectionist. I'm not sure which it is. But
Okay.
either way, it took an hour and a half to get this. And like, I barely have hair as it is. Like, this hairline, it's going back. So it shouldn't be taking that long.
You make a lot more about your hairline than is really going on, in my opinion.
Thank you. I do appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
But like your hair wasn't exceedingly long to begin with. Like he didn't have to do a whole lot to get you from where you were yesterday to what you are now.
Right, it's just a fade. Now, we do have to get into the topic, or it's going to be an hour and a half episode because I have a lot to cover. Now,
We can cut all that out.
Yeah, I probably will. Sources: theghostanmymachine.com and Reddit. Okay,
I had a ghost in my machine once. Well, actually, it was a ghost in my box.
and that's why you still smell like ham. Wow. It all comes full circle.
It really... I gave you that on a silver platter.
You did, yes. You
Just
did.
like a Christmas ham. At least it's honey baked. It's that spiral cut honey baked.
Now, silence, children! Our first curse ritual takes us back to Japan for the game of Hayakumonogatari Kaidanakai.
Maybe-
Or the game of 100 ghost stories.
Maybe we just do the English names.
I'm giving you the last English name for this. Or the gathering of 100 spirits.
Okay, I like that. The Gathering of 100 Spirits.
It said this game originated in 1660, where it was believed to be a test of courage for samurai. For the game, you need 100 candles, a dark room, and a lighter.
Wait, how many candles?
100.
Jesus.
Well, it's not called the fucking 50 spirits game, DJ. It's called the game of 100 spirits for a reason, okay? They're serious.
Can I say something that we're going to cut out?
Yeah.
Now, why is it that in Western culture, I can summon 100 spirits with one candle, but in Eastern culture, every spirit needs its own candle?
Because they're more unique than our spirits.
That is true.
All of our spirits, it's just Betsy from 1660. Ooh, I'm here to make porridge.
Oh, I see you got some tuna. You should put it in Jell-O.
Girl, that's tea. When those spirits from the 70s start really hitting, that's probably what it's going to be like.
Right.
Ooh, okay. So to play, you put 100 candles in a room during the day and close off all outside light from the room. Then, after sundown, all the players will enter the room and light all 100 candles while standing in a circle around them. Then after sundown... Oh, did I already read that? Yep. Take turns telling tales of the strange or unusual. And after each story, blow out a candle until they are all blown out. Once the last candle is blown out, the door to the other side is open, and entities from the other side may pass through. But be warned, children! There's no instructions on how to close the door. So once it's open, better have a plan to close it.
How? There's no instructions.
Exactly! That's the curse of the game!
You're yelling a lot this episode.
Thank you. Now there are other versions of this game as well. One only uses 10 candles, which might be more your speed. Now,
Yeah.
do you think you can afford 100 candles on your salary?
I mean, yes, but I mean, that room's going to be hot.
I never thought about that.
Also, I mean, okay. I think the best way to play, you need 10 players because that's 10 candles each.
Yes.
Did you say there was a like how many people you need.
Well, it varies. You can do it with one person, but that's a lot
Yeah.
of stories for one
That's
person.
a lot of
so
stories.
it's ideal.
I was kind of picturing in my head 3 to 4.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, ideally 10.
like 25 stories each. 25 times 4 is 100, I swear.
But here's the thing. Those candles are going to, like, start burning down really fast from the heat.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have 10 friends, that's 10 candles each, you can get them lit real fast. Power through their stories, blow them out.
Mm-hmm. No, the 10 candle game is a lot easier than the first one. Now, since it only uses 10 candles, it's still the same concept or whatever, but once the 10th candle is blown out, you only get a glimpse into the netherworld, whereas on the first game, the entities can come through, come back and forth, and all sorts of, like, things you probably don't want unless you're experienced.
So what I'm hearing is, if we play the 100 candle game, my mother's coming to stay the weekend. But if we play the 10 candle game, she can just shout at me on the phone for playing with the Ouija board.
Exactly, yes. Thank you for breaking it down for the kids.
You're welcome.
Now, for the kids who don't...
Once again, I know we share it for the podcast, but that is my personal tablet. Please don't break it.
I won't. But just for the people at home who might not know, DJ's mom is dead, and that's why he said that.
Yeah, and now her urn makes a great resting place for our Riesling.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
It's fine. She's an alcoholic.
Well,
she loves this gig.
Period. Hey, I mean, I too, after I die, hope I end up in an urn on some Twinks podcast.
My mother was the original ally, so, like, yeah.
Period. So, if you recall earlier, I was talking about how the samurai used to play this game. Well, let's talk a little bit about the version the samurais would play, because it's not that version, okay?
Could the samurai afford 100 candles?
No, they would use abandoned lanterns, and the lanterns had to be blue, and they had to be dressed in blue. And the other difference in this story is they didn't just use one room, they used 3 rooms.
Oh my god.
And ideally, the 3 rooms would be in an L shape. Now, essentially, what they would do is they would take the lanterns and they would light them in the 3rd room, and everyone would stay in the 1st room. And the other difference is, in the room with the cameras, they would, not cameras, in the room with the candles, they would have a mirror. So essentially, what they would do is they would go into the other room, they would tell us that creepy story, then go into the other room, blow out a candle while they look at themselves in the mirror, in the room by themselves.
It's always a mirror.
Isn't that a lot more creepy? Being in that room with yourself at the mirror? Because mirrors are gateways to the other side. And they would take turns doing that until all the lanterns were blown out. And then it said once all the lanterns are blown out, they could summon any spirit they wanted to.
Another creepy game that involves candles and mirrors. Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
And we covered it, and I wish we would have. We talked about it, but we never ended up doing it for research purposes. But it's not too late because TikTok is still around.
TikTok is still around. So we could do Bloody Mary, but will we? Actually, I played it before, which we talked about on the Bloody Mary episode. But yeah, we can give it a go for a video. See if the dolls want it. If you want to see us play Bloody Mary, comment down below. Or if you want us to play any of these games, let us know down below, and maybe we will.
If you want to see Paul play any of these games, because Paul found them, Paul has to play them.
Now, there's yet another version of this game that's called the Candles game.
Okay.
It involves 2 people, and you need 1 candle for every room and hallway in your home, along with something to keep time that has an alarm on it.
Okay.
Now, this one also begins during the day. So essentially, you shut all the curtains and windows to not allow light to enter into your home, and put all electronic devices that make noise or light up in a box and put them away in a closet or something of that nature. Put 1 unlit candle at the end of each hallway in your home, and have your partner go through your house placing the candles in each room without telling you where they placed them. Then your partner must exit the home and not return until 6 a.m.
Okay.
okay? The only candle that the person who is staying in the home should place is one in front of the door to their bedroom, their room, wherever you feel comfortable sleeping. Then, at sunset, close all the doors in your home, including the door to your room, the bedroom, wherever you want to take a good old siesta, a little nap. Then lay down and set your alarm for precisely 11:10 p.m. and go to sleep keeping matches or a lighter nearby. If your alarm rings at precisely 11:10 p.m., you have 1 minute to light the candle in your room. Do not look around the room once the candle is lit, and if you don't make it in time, you have failed and do not proceed with the game. Again, do not proceed with the game if you cannot get the candle lit in 1 minute. If you get the candle lit, then knock on your door 3 times with 3 seconds in between each knock. If you hear any noise from behind the door, do not proceed. But if it is quiet, you may proceed. If you are okay to proceed, say out loud, "I am ready to play," and open the door. Take your lit candle with you. Exit the room, closing the door behind you. From this point on, move through your home, lighting the candles in the hallways. When you reach a closed door, knock 3 times with 3-second intervals in between. If you hear a noise, do not go into that room. If you see a light in a room you haven't been into yet, leave your home immediately and don't come back until 6 a.m. And on the same note, if you see a door open that you did not open, do not go into that room and leave immediately. Now, if you do the 3 knocks on a door that you haven't opened yet, and you do not see a light in there, go into the room if you do not hear any noises on the other side. But if you knock on the door and you hear the noises on the other side, do not enter that room. And I cannot stress enough, don't enter the fucking room if you hear a noise, okay?
I think you have stressed it enough, actually.
Okay. Now, let's say you do walk past a room, right? And you see there's a light under. Move on to the next room and come back to the room later. So, it is very important to keep track of the rooms you were in and what rooms you need to come back to later, okay? Now, let's say you're going into a room you haven't been in, there's no light. You knock the 3 times with 3-second intervals. You go into the room, okay? Once you go into the room, you have 3 minutes to find where your partner put the candle in the room. Because remember, your partner's supposed to put a candle in every room in a random place. And you have 3 minutes to find that candle and light it once you enter the room, okay? Now, do this until all the candles in the home are lit. Okay, that's the game.
Okay.
Doing it until all home candles in your home are lit. Now, after all the candles are lit, return to your room, do the 3 knocks, and if no noises are heard, enter the room, lay on your bed facing the ceiling until 6 a.m. Do not look around the room and do not fall asleep. Look directly at the ceiling. Additional notes. Try not to look into any mirrors. Make sure there's no pets in the house. And do not look at any movements you may catch in your periphery. Now, why don't we hear the story of someone who's actually played this game?
Okay, did they fail?
Well, we're going to find out. So I'm going to jump right in, okay? So they did all the setup, right? Okay. They set their alarm, they did their thing. So at 8:30 p.m. or so, and I cannot attribute a Redditor to this because they deleted their
account.
Yeah, so I cannot attribute a Redditor to this. It's just on r-no sleep on Reddit, okay? So around 8:30 or so p.m., it was time for them to go to bed because, no, sun sets differently at different times and
Yeah.
areas. So you're supposed to go to bed after the sun sets and wake
Yeah.
up 11:10 p.m. So it must have been like summertime for them, so they went to bed at 8:30. They have everything set up and ready to go at 11:10, and they set their alarm and climbed into bed. Now at 11:10 p.m., their alarm goes off. My house feels normal. I'm going to read this now like straight from Reddit. So they're talking in first person. Okay. So that's why it's changing. So I'm starting to doubt this is going to work, and my friends just played a prank on me. I get out of bed, light the candle without looking around, and at 11:11 p.m., I knock on my own door according to the rules. I wait a few seconds and say the phrase that begins the game. I am ready to play. At 11:12 p.m., I contemplate going to my bathroom first, since it has a mirror and people have been telling me to see what's in the mirror. Which, if we recount the rules, we know you're not supposed to look in the mirror, but that's neither here nor there. So, I decide against doing that first and instead go to the first guest bedroom to the right of my room. I knock 3 times with a 3-second interval in between each knock and go in and shut the door. I then start to panic as the room is one of the largest rooms in the house and I can't find the goddamn candle. I look in the closets, the dresser, and finally, after 2.5 minutes, in the computer desk. I find one generic white looking candle. I take it out and light it, but once I do, the room feels different. I shrug it off, thinking my mind is just thinking it's scared, and move on to the next guest room to the left of my room. While walking towards the next room, however, I see something dark move around downstairs out of the corner of my eye. But alas, I am still naive enough at this point to think that my mind is playing tricks on me. In the next room, I find the candle fairly quickly, 1 minute in, and start to relax. I won't tell you in detail what happens in every room in my house now that you have the gist of it, because not much happened for the majority of the time, but a few rooms stand out. At 11:40 p.m., I decide to enter the dreaded bathroom and break the rules for the first time yet. I perform the knocking ritual and open the door. I immediately begin to hear a very soft, and I mean very soft, moaning sound coming from inside the glass shower, opposite the mirror in the bathroom. I find the candle laying behind the toilet, light it, and place it on the bathroom sink. At this point, I'm really fucking scared and starting to think twice on my deal to no sleep about looking into the mirror. And of course, no sleep is the Reddit thread they're
Right.
referring to. I decide to do it anyway, just for the hell of it. After all, I don't think anything physical could happen to me. I look up into the mirror, and inside my shower is a short, dark figure standing. I think it's facing me. I have never seen anything like this before in my life and have always been a skeptic, so you can imagine how fucking terrifying this was. I proceed to look at this thing, and after about 30 seconds, let out a weak, "Hello?" The soft moaning immediately ceases.
Oh no.
There was about 10 seconds of complete silence. Then that thing in my shower begins screaming at the top of its fucking lungs at me. The candle goes out, and I'm in complete darkness again when it suddenly stops screaming. I didn't know what to do since it isn't in the rules on whether you should relight a candle. I eventually decide to hell with it. If I relight this candle, that thing will probably be standing right next to me, just like in every damn horror movie. I begin to inch towards the door for what felt like an hour, and I'm feeling around for the doorknob when I suddenly hear the shower go on behind me full blast. To make this very long story short, I basically get the fuck out of the bathroom and shut the door immediately. Immediately after I exit the room, there is complete silence throughout the entire house for about a minute. I check my watch. 12:03. Shit. And that's where the story of that night ends. But there is an update a couple days later. I slept 3 hours in the past few days. Shit is not going so well. I'm starting to see them everywhere. Mirrors, reflection from the computer monitor. Hell, even under my bed for a second. Then they're gone. I'm a fucking mess. Sorry. I hope I can add part 2 soon so you guys know not to try this fucking game. And there was never a part 2. And there's many, many people on Reddit who theorize what happened to this person. Whether they're dead, whether they got by the entity, whether this is a fake story meant to scare people. But whatever happened, it's up to you to decide.
Ooh.
Ooh, yes. Any thoughts, comments, concerns?
Why would you break the rules?
Some people are idiots.
No, I kind of want to make you play this game, but like I'm not going to hide the candles.
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, I'll put them out, but like I'm not going to make it like hard for you.
Right.
Like unnecessarily hard.
It would.
And also the fact that like the subtle foreshadowing, like shit was going down in that first room when OP couldn't find the candle and they found a generic white looking candle in a drawer and they just lit it and immediately the room felt different. That wasn't the candle.
I never even thought about that. Maybe it wasn't, and that's why the game went like awry.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought. Like when it was just like when you said like I found a generic white looking candle and I lit it and everything in the room felt different. I was like,
yeah, as soon as the room starts feeling different, you need to get the fuck out of there. Now, I do have one more game for us called the Midnight Game. For this one, start just before midnight. Write your full name on a piece of paper and prick your finger, putting a drop of blood on the paper.
no thanks.
Which we all know it gets a lot more serious when blood is involved. Once the blood has soaked into the paper, turn off every light in your home. Place the piece of paper in front of a wooden, and it must be wooden, door in your home. Then place a candle on top of the paper and light it. Knock on your door 22 times, with the last knock being at precisely midnight.
Bitch, I'm lucky if I can count past 10.
Girl, these games are very specific, and they're specific for a reason, okay? Then open the door, blow out the candle, then close the door and relight the candle immediately. Start moving about your home with the candle. If the candle goes out, you have 10 seconds to relight it. If you are successful, keep moving about your home. If you are unsuccessful, draw a circle of salt around you and stay in the circle until 3:33
Jesus Christ.
a.m.
I got a carry a lit candle and a thing of salt.
Yes.
And my house is wall-to-wall carpeting. You can't get that out of carpeting.
That's true. That's true. No, that's tea, but the salt is very important. Now, the rule is you must keep moving until 3:33 a.m. if your candle remains lit.
I can't. Now, what it... Okay. If I have to pee, can I, like, just kind of rock back and forth? Does that count as still moving?
We'll count it. I mean, the rules don't really say anything about peeing or anything, so I'd suggest peeing before you start the game.
But some of us get scared and we gotta pee when we're scared.
Then piss yourself, Barbara! I don't know what you want from me.
I did that once. I didn't like it very much. Thank you.
Tea. Sorry, I was thinking if I ever pissed myself. Nope, just as a kid. At 3:33 a.m., you are safe to stop moving or to leave your circle of salt. You must turn the lights back on in your home after this. Now, this ritual invites the Midnight Man into your home. If you stop moving, the Midnight Man will catch you, and if you leave the circle of salt, he will catch you. There are different accounts of what happens if you get caught by the Midnight Man. Some say he will give you a hallucination of your worst fear. Others say he will rip out all of your organs. There are some indications that the Midnight Man is near. Sudden temperature shifts, your candle going out, the sound of a soft whisper, and a dark humanoid figure appearing in the darkness.
See, I don't like this. It sounds like this Midnight Man is cheating.
What do you mean cheating?
He can blow my candle out.
I mean, it's his game. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Now, I do have an account of someone who's actually played this game to read to you.
Will you tell it to me?
Let's get into it. Now, this, of course, involves two people. And I'm going to dive right into when they're playing the game. And their account starts at 11:55 p.m. And again, I can only attribute this to r/no sleep. I can't find the OP's at or username. So if this is you, comment down below. Just comment your username down below, okay?
Or your full government name and social security number.
Right, hey, I'm down with that too.
Credit card numbers.
I'm down with that too. So, again, 11:55 p.m. Ryan and I are getting out our materials ready so we can write, prick, and knock all in the allotted time span.
Ryan!
Ryan suggests that we throw the fuse since turning on the lights means losing the game. But I don't really feel comfortable with fumbling around with all that. We just need to be disciplined about not turning anything with power on, and we'll be good. 11:59 to 12 a.m. We execute our name cards really well, and I end up doing the honor of the knocking. Ryan helps me synchronize the knocks, and I get it right on the dot. We blow out our candles and re-enter, lighting them again. As soon as we both have things lit, Ryan lets out an "Oh!" and we both laugh and relax a little bit. 12 a.m. to 12:45. You're supposed to move around or the Midnight Man is able to find you or something. So we creep slowly, tracing the wall and staying in the more open rooms. We start to go towards my bedroom, but Ryan feels like it would be too cramped. Both of our candles are doing just fine, and as Florida nights are this time of year, the house is as hot as expected. As we walk around, we talk and joke a little bit, though we were definitely both nervous to some degree. Now 12:45 to 12:55 a.m. Ryan asks me if we're allowed to eat during the game. I actually hadn't a clue and told him to go for it if he can avoid opening the fridge, since I'm sure the light would disqualify us from the game. I actually don't know what he ate because I forgot to ask him, was distracted by what he said when he came back into the room. With a mouthful, he says, "When is the Nightman supposed to arrive?" And God damn it. I wish he hadn't said that because I would reply with, "Nightman, that's Dayman! Ah! Champion of the Nightman! Ah!" Ryan chimes in an instant. Both of us are singing the Nightman cometh from
Oh my god.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No. Oh my god. I thought you were pulling a bit.
No, they actually sung the
I
Nightman
know,
cometh.
but it was so off the wall that I thought you were just pulling a bit to see if I was paying attention.
Nope, they sung the Nightman cometh, and I do love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, one of my favorite shows.
Dayman, opposite of the Nightman.
Oh, champion of the sun, but back to the story. Doing that was the single most stupidest thing I did, because the night was not the same from that point on. 12:58 a.m. The only reason I remember the exact time is that I was looking at my watch by candlelight when the motherfucker just went out. I didn't think I could panic like such a little girl, and I quickly relit it in no more than 5 seconds. Shit, that was close, I say, or something like that, and Ryan looks at me silently. He makes a weird face, and I ask him, "What's wrong?" "What did you say?" he asks. And I repeat myself. I said, "Shit, that was close." And he waves his hand and says, No, I heard that. What did you start to say right after that?" Apparently, he had heard me whispering words immediately following what I had said. We move over towards the bathroom and the hallway pretty quickly. 1:25 a.m. We've been walking around slowly, but with a bit more purpose than before. No more joking around, not much talking between us except necessary communication. We both feel a little bit more humbled than we had when we started. We both start to go from my bedroom and towards my mom's room, and that's when I look to the right and into the hallway bathroom. There's a fucking figure just standing in the tub, part obscured by the drawn curtain. Our candles remain intact, so I grab Ryan's shirt firmly and speed walk towards the kitchen.
Why is it always in the tub?
Right. Ryan didn't even ask me what was going on. Once we got to the far end of the kitchen, I asked him if he saw it too. He did. At this point, Ryan asks me if there was anything in the rules that let you opt out of the game. He really didn't want to continue, but he was too scared to turn on the lights and find out what happened from there. So he continued with me. I don't know what I've have done if he'd left me. Sorry, the grammar on these things is the best.
it's never good on Reddit.
Yeah. 1:40 a.m. We're staying in the kitchen and garage area, going back and forth between them, and I'm basically holding my breath whenever we go through a threshold, since I just expect to see him there. Things seem to calm down a bit until, at around this time, I realize something horrible. Ryan, I ask, where's the salt you brought? I didn't ask him because I didn't know, but because I didn't want to have to say it. He answered just as I thought he would. Your bedroom. Damn it, son of a whore. We talk it over for a minute and basically conclude that we need absolutely need this salt if things go wrong. We start towards my room. 1:45 a.m. Even though the kitchen and the bedroom are barely more than a 10-second sprint from one another, we don't dare do that. Any quick motion is basically just begging for our candle to go out, and I can't help but feel like running will provoke him. We inch our way towards the hall, and finally we have the same view of the bathroom that we had prior. I make myself look because I can't not. If he's still there, I want to know. And nothing. I just see a dark room and nothing but that. I think that was the most relieved I've felt all game, which is stupid because, as other players have mentioned, it seems like optimism is enough to draw him to you.
Ew.
I walk through the hallway and into my bedroom, and I can see the giant cylinders of salt sitting right in front of my computer monitor. As soon as I grab one of them, the room goes cold. Of all the fucking rooms in my house that never gets cold, it's my bedroom. My bedroom is the hottest in the house due to shitty insulation, and yet I am suddenly have the urge to shiver. I turn around immediately with a salt shaker in my hand and another under my arm. And motherfucker. 1:47 p.m. Two things immediately catch my eye. I don't see Ryan, who had been behind me up until the hallway to the bedroom. I do, however, see the glow of his candle coming from around the corner. I take a moment to wonder why he hadn't come to help me, since I only have one free hand due to the other grasping a candle, and I get my fucking answer. B. The subtlest, most disturbing bob of a head to my left, right over my bed. I swear to y'all, there was a figure just sitting in the middle of my bed, and his head had just moved. Between the cold, the lack of Ryan near me, and now this man who is silently perched on my bed, I lose my shit. I run straight out of the door, my candle miraculously staying lit, but I dropped the salt shaker that I'd had in my armpit, and I emerge with only one of them. I expect Ryan to get mad at me, but I go around the corner, and his eyes are so wide that I become startled again. Go, 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 he says right before his candle goes out. I feel awful for this, but I kept booking it back to the kitchen, turning around as soon as candlelight reappears from behind. I don't know how long it took him, but it definitely didn't exceed 10 seconds. I try to apologize to him for leading him, but he tells me that's exactly what he would have done. 1:58 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. We decide to basically avoid the east part of the house, since both times of seeing him involved him in my bathroom or bedroom, and the living room was where my candle had gone out the first time. We also discussed the salt shaker situation, coming to the mutual decision that if one of our candles fails, that person will circle themselves and give the shaker to the other person to continue on. At this point, that happening is my biggest fear. For Ryan's candle to go out, him have to plant himself in the house, and me have to go traversing on my own for the rest of it. Even though we had a 40-minute period of absolutely nothing, there wasn't a single ounce of relief to come with each passing minute. Relief felt like weakness to me, and weakness felt like something the Midnight Man would see. 2:30 to 2:40 a.m. We decide to go into the Florida room for the first time all night. It extends so long across the house that it felt like there are so many chances to see him just lurking, but I feel like staying in the kitchen and garage and dining area is going to do us in. So we enter. We have a tiny bit of light coming through the terraced windows from streetlights on the avenue next to ours, but it's barely a glow. The room is still very, very much dark, and we do the only thing we can think of: pace up and down it slowly, hoping that the last hour or so will go well. 2:45 a.m. If you looked at the pictures, you'll see that there's a futon at one end of the room. Ryan and I sat on it to rest for just a few minutes, since we'd basically been on our feet since midnight. Like an idiot, I let myself get hope what time it was, how we would be done with this nonsense in a really short period, and how we survived He's fucking right there. I look up and see the blinds parted just a smidgen, and before I even look up and see the darkened figure, I get off the bed and dart straight ahead. I run to about halfway through the room, and in the most terrifying second of my life, something comes crashing down on me. My overreactive imagination can only assume one thing. The Midnight Man materialized through the glass slider and pounced on me like a fucking hunter from Left 4 Dead. But after a second or two, I realize what's on me is flat and scratchy. Ryan shouts out from behind. At first I assume it's because he saw me get hit by the chunk of ceiling that had just swiped the side of my fucking head, but no. His candle had gone out again. Still holding mine, I turn, a great deal of pain still in my mind, to see him booking it towards me. "Light your candle," I yell, but then he doesn't respond to that. I notice now that he isn't even holding his candle anymore, but the salt shaker. He does something that I never even thought of. He starts to pour a salt circle around the both of us. An amorphous boundary that seems to connect just fine, and it's absolutely huge. Even though I have a lit candle, I'm inside of it with him, and his face looks absolutely horrified. I have a brief terror of, now I have to play the game by myself for the rest of the night, which is followed immediately by a sudden realization. No, I don't. And I blow out the candle. 2:50 to 3:33 a.m. Oh Christ, I almost don't even want to talk about this part. The first thing my mind conceives upon blowing out the candle is that I made a really fucking stupid decision.
Yeah.
This is followed by reminding myself that I'm already in the salt circle, and Ryan even says to me, Good, I'm glad you did that. The two of us are just sitting on that disgusting floor, the salt border honestly looking like more of an acorn than a circle. But there aren't any gaps. We sit there, and there is nothing but complete silence. My pupils are still getting cozy with the idea of dilating after all the candle time, but I swear I'm seeing movement over on the futon where we had been. I don't ask Ryan to turn and look with me. I just want it to end. Throughout the nearly 3/4 hour we spent in that cramped salt acorn, we both got chills at completely separate times. I heard a whisper. No. Like a mantra for about 30 seconds. And when I look at Ryan to confront him, I'm horrified to see that he isn't the one saying it. By the time the watch hit 3:33, we hadn't moved. We didn't leave the damn thing until at least 3:40. Both silently and slowly, we got up and turned every light on in the house. And that is their story of the Midnight Man game.
Oh my god.
Now, those are the games I have brought to this episode. Now, there are many, many more games like this, of course, on the internet. But we only have time for those 3 on this such episode. And I do have a question for you. Out of all the games I've presented you with, which one would you most likely want to play?
Is this my camera?
Yes.
No.
Well, you have to pick one.
No, I don't.
This isn't like a yes or no question.
This is America.
If you had to pick one.
No.
DJ, pick a fucking game. You don't actually have to play.
Okay, I guess Midnight Man.
Midnight Man. I think that's the one I would like to play too, because the rules seem most simple, and I feel like if I were to play the game where you have to remember which rooms you were in, I'd forget which room I was in.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I'd definitely forget which room I was in, and then I'd get fucked and see the spirit, and maybe I'd get disappeared too.
Yeah, Midnight Man, and I like that you can like cop out with the salt circle.
Yeah, I do like that as well. And also, like, even the one candle game where you have to go room to room, even at the end, you just have to, like, lay there until 6 a.m. in your bed, not looking around, just staring at the ceiling
and not falling asleep.
That would be hard.
I tried that when we went to Lock House, like, just laying there and not falling asleep, and I still fell asleep. And then somebody tried to, like, enter the Lock House at 6 a.m., and it scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah, that was scary as shit. Please
That's
refer.
probably other than the sensor going off outside, was probably the scariest thing.
Yeah. For that information, please refer back to our Lock House video.
Linked here. Just kidding.
Yeah, no. And one interesting parallel, too, that I want to draw that gives credence to these games is, like, candle magic is often used in many, many religions. I mean, even Christians, like, light candles for prayers and things like this. So I think that adds credence to these games, too, is that they revolve around candles. And candle magic is a very, very real thing, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I think messing with candle games and candle magic can be a very dangerous thing. So if you do decide to play any of these games, do it at your own risk. And just know that very, very real and very serious things happen when you play these games. And just because you don't believe in them doesn't mean they don't believe in you.
Ooh, that gave me shivers.
Thank you. That's actually a Buffy the Vampire Slayer quote, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh.
Now, do you have any thoughts about any of these games?
Paul, you know me. I don't have a single thought in my noggin.
One other thing I do want to say is I do think it's interesting that the one game does go back to like samurai times and things, and how they were using lanterns and things, like how people from like the dawn of time might have been playing these games. Because I know Japan isn't really like the dawn of time, but it's still like a really fucking long time ago, right? So people have been playing these games for a really fucking long time is my point. And I think that gives these games credence as well, is how many people play these games, how scary they continue to be, and how many experiences, like super scary experiences, people continue to have with these games, cursed rituals, whatever you might call them, because some might not even appreciate them being referred to as games because of the serious consequences that can happen from them, right? It's not just a game, it's a very serious thing, like
it is
a
a ritual.
Yeah. But that's my thoughts. If you do end up playing one of these games, let us know down below and let us know what happened. If you want to see us play one of these games, let us know down below. Maybe we'll play it for you, and maybe we have some friends maybe at Trundle Manor who might want to play. Maybe we could play at Trundle Manor sometime.
God, no, because if we have to do the candle one in their house, it's going to be like...
scary, spooky.
So scary, spooky, but also there are so many different, like, rooms.
Right. And hidden doors and things. Playing these games at Trundle Manor would be crazy. And that would be an awesome video that I'd really like to make. So if you're listening, Trundle Manor, let us know if you'd be down. Ooh.
Please let us know what you think. We'd love to hear it. Please connect with us down below with all of our social medias. And if you have ever played one of these games before, or if you have your own personal stories, please email us. Paul?
You can find me on my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so at The Real Teach Powers on Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, folks, keep your grips tight.
Almost cheers the tablet and your corks loose.
Bye. Once again, I am telling you, just because we shared for the podcast, that is my tablet.
I really am going to end up breaking it one of these days.
You really are.
But until then, the raindrops fell.